What road?
So hi folks, once again, and you're very welcome along to another programme, to another edition of Down Your Way. Well, this week we're here in South County, we're in Feathert Ballroom for the most part. It's the book fair, of course, every year, and we try to acknowledge the work that they do. The Tipperary Ann Award is one of the main prizes and the main events of this event here in Tint. Gregory is with me. Gregory, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. It's wonderful to be both here in Feathert and to be interviewed by yourself.
Well, it's terrific. And indeed, you're here at the front of the stage. The main part of this building, because most people will come in here today and they'll come right up to the front of the stage to see who are the award winners. And so you guys are number one.
Well, that's a rather amazing feat because this book is really a study of a community which has been involved with mining for over 700 years. It is something that it's a collection of essays by people who love the history of mining, who have been involved with mining most of their lives. And I was just lucky enough to be in Neenah working for the Silver Mines Hydro project at the time, and I have a background in historical geography from Canada, but I have a love of natural resources, done a lot of work in mining myself, and lo and behold, this opportunity fell into my lap, and I basically pulled together a collection of great ideas and great essays from people, and this is the book.
Okay, it took you a while to research and to do it.
It was about 18 months of really solid research, and this is an area that's had over a minimum of 700 years mining. We talk about 1289 as being when the Italian mining or the Italian merchant houses got control of the silver mines area from King Edward. Effectively, King Edward owed the Italian merchants a lot of money for his wars, financing his wars in Scotland and Wales. And one of those payoffs they got was the right to mine at silver mine. So 1289 seems to be the starting point for the story. But obviously there must have been knowledge of silver and lead and zinc and wealth in this place, and certainly copper originally. And the copper itself could date back into the Bronze Age, maybe 4,000, 5,000 years ago. People could have been mining copper on this location. So it's always been an area of great natural resource productivity.
Okay, it had been closed down for quite a number of years now, and where did you find all the people that work there?
So the last mine to close down at Magabar was a barite mine, which was better known for driller's mud than the oil industry. And so this is a product that's coming out of silver mines and ending up in the Gulf of Mexico, for example. That closes down in 1992-93 period. Prior to that, Mogul Mines had been in operation from the mid-1960s to 1982. And the miners are still here. We have a list of around 660 miners who worked at Mogul, and we're always looking for more. We're getting more names added to that. And it's one of the studies in the book, one of the articles in the book that I wrote is just on housing the miners. And in Neenah, as people there will know, there were two suburbs built, or two estates built. And the estates are Knights Crescent, which was for the managers, and Ballygreg, which was for the blue collar and the office staff. And those homes are still there. And when I walked through those communities, I walked through Knights Crescent, and it was built in the 60s, and I'm 70 now, and that was like walking through a little suburb in Ottawa, which I would have grown up in. And then when I went to Ballygreg, it was like, oh my goodness, this is like military barracks housing that you'd see at a Canadian Air Force base or Canadian Armed Forces base for the non-commissioned officers. And so I wrote an article about that and how these got planned and built, and really fun.
Absolutely. So, the stories, they're all in the book.
Oh, there are so many stories in the book. There are still so many stories to be told, and so we're looking at new stories. So we have a lovely story by Dr. Colin Andrew, who's Ireland's foremost specialist, if not one of the world's foremost specialists on what's known as the Irish lead zinc ore bodies. And we have Dr. John Morris, and John Morris has provided us with an essay on preserving the heritage buildings. Silver Mines is has a wide variety of buildings that survive from perhaps the 17th century right through to the mogul mine buildings from the 1960s. And so there's a lovely aspect of mining heritage, which could be an aspect of tourism, we hope. Mining is one of those intermittent industries, and so it's really problematic as a researcher to look at it. So there's intense periods of mining activity where you can have 500 to 800 to 1,000 people involved on site, and then it's gone. And so there's stories of loss as well. So there's stories of extraction and in industry and wealth creation. But for the most part, although we're looking at 700 years, majority of that time period, the mines are inactive. The resources are sitting in the ground, but they're inaccessible for political reasons, economic reasons, demand reasons.
Of course, there's so many mines. There's been a few mines in Tipperary, Ballingarry, and all of them went their way.
Mines, for example, let's just look at the mogul mine itself. The mogul miners were Canadians, like myself. They're a Toronto-based firm, Mogul International, and they come over in the 1950s exploring for mineral sites in Ireland, and they actually come across a number of sites they like. They ended up in Mogul because the Irish firm Silver Mines Lead and Zinc is active and working very hard to develop the project. They come in and do a lot of exploration. A lovely gentleman named Dom O'Halloran, who lives in Ballygreg, that estate I mentioned, was on the original exploration team in 1963 that found the green mother lode, a greenfield mother lode, like it hadn't been explored or found before. And so you end up with this wonderful development of this site over time, more non-developed than developed. And one of the things I was going to mention is you also have these stories of loss, of having the mines being so active for a period and then they close down and people flee, people run away. And so we have Irish miners in Australia, Irish miners in the California gold rush, Irish miners in the gold rush of the Yukon, where I'm from. And so you have this exodus of skilled talent and ability fleeing the loss of jobs right through to the 1960s.
Okay, so in the 1960s, people made a good living working in the mines.
Yes.
Families.
Yes. So in the 1960s and 70s, early 80s, there was a considerable pay package provided. There was probably somewhere to around 450 to 500 jobs at Mogul alone. There were probably around 50 or 60 jobs at Magabar, which is right next door to it, across the road and next door to it. And those were well-paying jobs, and they were skilled labor jobs too. So people were trained, and they had skills they could take with them when they left their jobs, hopefully. And talking with quite a few of the miners, they were able to take their expertise and move into other areas of the economy when the jobs closed.
Of silver mines today, what happens to it now?
Well, Silver Mines is very much a beautiful little picturesque village. It is literally a few dozens of homes, a beautiful church, a lovely bar at Hickey's, where I spend a fair amount of my time, and it's a pretty place, and we enjoy going there on a regular basis. And one of the things our company's hoping to do in the future is be able to work with the community for its future. One of the problems when Mogul was built, Mogul said, well, we'll be building about 100 homes for our workers, but they didn't build them in silver mines, which was very upsetting to the parish priest and to the community at the time. And they built the homes in Neenah because Neenah had grocery stores and hospital. It had, much greater, higher number of infrastructure support systems.
What kind of condition did Mogul leave silver mines, the mining place, when they left it?
It unfortunately left an excessive tailings problem, which the Irish government had to address in the early 2000s. The main mine buildings where the mills were are still in use. So they've transitioned to steel making, steel fabricating. And the landscape itself is typical of a mining environment, and the book talks about this. It's dystopian, but it has a beauty to it in itself. And when you look at these sites, you're looking at mining spoil heaps that could be anywhere upwards of 700 years old.
Just finally, where can the book be picked up? In any good bookshop?
So no, we actually we're not selling the book commercially. It is really is something that we have as a corporate project, and it was funded by the Geologic Survey Ireland in Dublin, which is part of DCEE, one of the major departments of I guess climate, environment, and energy. And so we were funded to do the research.
Listen, congratulations! What a fantastic award!
Oh, thank you very much.
Indeed, you're very welcome back to Down Your Way. We're here in South County County this week at the book fair here in Fethard. Mary Hanrahan, how are you?
Fáilte, Eamon, I'm very well, and I'm delighted to have you back in Fethard at our Tipperary Book Fair.
Isn't it a special event, isn't it?
It's a wonderful event. I'm prejudiced, Eamon, you know that I'm biased, but no, it is. It's amazing, and already it's very early, but you can feel kind of the vibe here. It's very relaxed. People are browsing, people are chatting. You know, I see our authors there. They've arrived. They've set up our Tipperary authors, and they're chatting to each other. There's a great camaraderie here.
Isn't it?
There
and
is.
the authors here from all over.
They are, and we have. It's wonderful. We have a very local lady. She's from my class, Julie Kennedy Fogarty, and she's got children's books, self-published with fabulous illustrations. We have local poets. We have Teresa Jones from Carrick, and the lady beside her, Susan, has come all the way from Tipperary town. And then, of course, we have our Tipperary Book of the Year, The Silver Mines, and we have Elaine Fitzpatrick of Tipperary Printers. You know, the Fitzpatrick Printers in Tipperary, and a selection of her books. So it's really, really good to see all of this.
And Silver Mines are hugely surprised with their award.
Oh, I know. Well, it was unanimous actually. You know, there's a huge amount of books produced in Tipperary every year about Tipperary, and all kinds of books. So, we look at historical, we look at poetry, we look at everything really. But this book, I mean, the level of scholarship, it's a series of essays edited, the amount of knowledge, and I suppose the attention to detail, and it's just so comprehensive. It's a really standout book. Now, it is not light bedtime reading, shall we say. But if you have an interest in mining in Tipperary, the silver mines in particular, this is your go-to book. It really is. It's a definitive history.
How did it all happen all those years ago?
All those years ago, we were the Fethard Historical Society, and we were saying we need money to run our activities, and we didn't want to do church collections or things like that, which were in vogue at the time. So we're all book people of different types. So we said, right, a book fair. And Terry Cunningham, of course, Terry's just amazing for ideas. And he had a really good friend, James Vallely, up in County Antrim. So James, said, look, there's names of book dealers. He came himself, a major supporter of our book fair, and other book dealers came, and they just kept coming. They kept coming. They love it, and they will tell us, even though it's small here, that this is the best one-day book fair in Ireland. Eamon, isn't that some accolade? Isn't that some
achievement,
accolade?
isn't it?
Yeah, here in Fethard,
Do you dig them up every year, or kind of?
They're reaching out to us, and they come back. The dealers come. It's kind of a given year to year, and now unfortunately we've lost a few. Through illness and demise, the aging process. But no, and we have new people coming on board. So I think we're bucking the national trend, because as you know, bookshops are struggling big time, Eamon. But the book dealers are holding their own, And then we get donations to our own bookstore. We've wonderful supporters. Well, a man drove up from Tremor yesterday with books for the book fair to donate to us for our stall, because everything we sell on our stall, the proceeds go to the Historical Society. The dealers, of course, pay a fee for their stalls. But with our authors, because we really believe in supporting local authors, we don't charge them.
I often wonder when you come to the door here.
I know Eamon has an issue with the charge on the door. I know. Well, we want it to be affordable, and we never charge for children, because our thing is encourage. I mean, I think if you give, you get back, Eamon. It seems to work for us.
€3. Can you imagine in today's world?
I know. Sometimes people find it awkward to get the change, but we manage. We get around that, No, I think we'll stick with it for another while.
Okay. Yeah, so no, you kind of love what you do.
We
do. Great committee, that's what it's all about.
We have a super committee, and we're very lucky. Like, we have a core group. the same familiar faces, and then we get new people coming on board, and they're great because they energize us. They have new ideas, they're young, they have energy and enthusiasm, and every committee and every organisation needs. And I know we say all the time, well, look, people are welcome. And I really would say to anybody out there who's interested in joining the Feathered Historical Society, you will be so welcome. You know, I know we can see kind of a set group, but we love new people. We really do.
The other side of it is, as soon as you put your foot inside his door, there's a fantastic welcoming feel about it. You know, it's just gorgeous.
It is. It's the vibe. Yeah, I think that comes from this. I think obviously it comes from us. I think the committee here, our own society, but also local people. All the local people coming in to support us, and the dealers themselves. They're happy to be here, and they're and again they're meeting up with each other. It might be the only time they meet in the year, and our authors are coming with the enthusiasm for their books. So yeah, it is lovely. It is lovely.
You have lots of other hobbies as well.
Well, I now have 4 grandchildren. No, what am I talking about? I have 8 grandchildren.
Okay, very good.
And so, so that's another area. But I do a bit of writing and stuff like that, Eamon, and I always read, you know.
Do you present all that stuff to the local papers and stuff?
Well, I've done a bit with various in various different forums. But for the moment, nothing out in public at the minute. Maybe next year, Eamon. Maybe next year.
Who's your favourite author?
Would you believe my favourite book of all time, interestingly, is non-fiction. It's The Hare with Amber Eyes. It's by a guy called Edmund Dwyer. He's of really interesting Prussian and Jewish heritage, and he wrote this book, and it's actually a very factual account of an Netsuke collection that came to him from his granduncle, and in tracing the history of the Netsuke, which are these tiny Japanese carvings, he actually, I suppose, discovered his own family history and his ancestry. But it's a wonder, and it's one of those books. There was a very small publication, and it gained traction through word of mouth, and it became a phenomenon worldwide through word of mouth. So that just shows you the power of the written word.
So it was a real pleasure, as always, to be here and to talk to you and to kind of just something special.
There's a great atmosphere, a great ambience, and we're very, very lucky. And we're delighted we're still able to do it, you know.
I know, Mary, you're going to take me probably during the summer on a tour of Feathered and kind of a walk around it.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be my great pleasure, because and I know I've said this to you before, I mean, if you like history, and particularly if you like medieval history, there's nowhere quite like Feathered. Absolutely nowhere.
Absolutely not. Listen, it's a great privilege, and congratulations again to running this award and then running the show as well.
Thanks a million, Eamon, and you're always welcome in Feathered, you know that. Slán go fóill.
Teresa Jones, how are you doing, Teresa?
I'm good, thank you.
Terrific to be a part of Down Your Way this weekend here. What a special place, Feathered, at the book fair, isn't it?
It's a wonderful opportunity. It's such a rich environment for people who love reading or people who love collecting books. It's a fabulous thing to be part of. Really nice.
Collecting books is one thing, but you're writing books.
I am writing books. I write narrative poetry. So I take memories, people's memories, my own memories, and I portray them in a few lines. Nobody has time anymore often to read a lot. So I try and capture that in 4 or 5 verses and capture a sense of time, a pocket of time, and just to memorize it. Or it might be a reflection, or it might be something I'm angry about, or it's just a nice way of taking those feelings out of your head and popping them on a page and letting other people share them.
So you're meeting people here today that come around to your stand and all the rest. You'll ask them for maybe their feelings or memories?
I love doing that. I'm involved in a lot of local projects, either through the Spoken Word for Applefest or Spoken Word for Clonmel Junction Festival. And I've done that a few times. Do you know, in particular, there's a couple of poems in this particular book which were memories of my friend's grandfather who was taken away to a Siberian prison camp. And he was a very obviously quiet man. He had never spoken about it, but his only comment would be, when one turned, we all turned. And that made the hair stand up on the back of my neck, because it was such a visual portrayal of a terrible time. And
I have a book in my hand. Am I blooming yet?
Yes.
A beautiful description here in the front, and all the rest. Where can those be got?
They're in the Tudor Artisan Hub in Carrick, and also I have some of my books in the Narrow Space in Clonmel.
Okay. So what about some of the bookshops are in Tipperary, Easton's and all of that?
I haven't branched out to Easton's yet. I'm not that big.
Yeah.
I'm only growing.
Okay, but you're doing well.
I am. I'm blooming.
Yeah, you certainly are. How many books have you released in recent years?
I have Servant of Time, which I wrote about 4 years ago. I have Waterfall of Intentions. I wrote that 2 years ago. And Am I Blooming Yet? And they all have memories of, in fact, Am I Blooming Yet has something about feathered car boot. Servant of Time has a lot about the River Shore and Bagwell's Folly. And Waterfall of Intentions would have written a lot about the Comera Mountains.
Okay.
So.
Well done. We're going to be tidy on time.
Thank you.
Every success. People can contact you if they want to.
They can, yes. I have a Facebook page, Teresa Jones.
Okay, that's all they need.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So we're going to take another break. We're here in South of the County. We're back just after these. Indeed, you're welcome back to Down Your Way. We're here at the book fair here in South of the County in Feathered. Michael Dempsey, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Eamon.
How are you doing, Eamon? Thanks for talking to us now.
Absolutely, you're here at the front of the stage because you must have something big when you're when you're part of at the front of the stage.
Well, we're selling a book here about a man from Littleton that was the first prisoner of World War II and the longest serving prisoner of World War II. So we bought out this book last year, and it's going well. So we bought on a few copies here today to sell them and
to show them to the people.
Yeah, we've sold a couple of copies there already. Now we're not here very long.
Okay, what about you, Seamus? You're part of it as well.
Part of the history group. We meet once a week, and we're doing Born in the Morning now at the moment. I want to be out soon in a couple of months' time.
That's a great, huge development out there, isn't it?
It is great. We got the old dressing room in the hurling field. It's fantastic, Eamon. Fantastic. We're very lucky.
Absolutely. And how many of you are members of the club?
Well, we have about 12 core members that appear all the time. Any kind of a project we're doing, they come along and they're very, very interested in it. And we have a few ladies as well who are very, very interested. We're a bit different from normal men's sheds because when we started out, we didn't have a premises. So the local GA club where we're all members there, they gave us the use of their meeting room. So when we started off anyway, the first thing we did was the history of the club. We did the history of the club, and after that then we did a big show up in the Horse and Jockey, and we filled the Dine of Land Theatre. And the next thing then we did was we brought out a book on a man that was shot in Littleton that there was very little known about because it happened during the Civil War, and all this stuff was put away up in Dublin for 100 years. And we were lucky enough to be doing this project 100 years afterwards, so we got access to all this stuff that was put away in the archives, and it turned out to be a great story. And we sold lots of those books, and they're gone worldwide at this stage to relatives that lived in Littleton, you know.
It was marvellous research, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, and we had to come back and we had to get a second edition there because people from Littleton, they bought 5 and 6 books each for their relatives across the water.
Absolutely. But the name of the book?
The name of the book, that was Michael Cordy, the killing of Michael Cordy in Littleton. And it was a great story, you know.
So you have meetings regularly, can do the men's shed?
We have every week. Every Wednesday night we'll have a meeting, and we meet in again with Shulella or part of our group as well, the walking group, twice a week, Tuesday and Thursdays.
Is it mostly kind of history stuff you do?
We do, you see. Well, what happened was when we got into the history, we discovered that an awful lot of people in the area were very, very interested in history, but there was nobody around there talking about it until we came along. And we kept going at the history. And our next project was Larry Slackery, who was the first prisoner of World War II and the longest serving prisoner of World War II. So we launched a book on that, and we actually got on TJ Cahir with that launch, and we won an award. We won the Heritage Award for that, and of course that was based on, that was marked on how much exposure you got to your project, and we got on television, which was a big boost for us, and we won the award.
Wasn't that beautiful?
It was fantastic, yeah. So since that, we've been sticking to the history, and our next project is on Bornamona. Now,
The story of Bournemouth. You all kind of around there, kind of worked there at some stage.
fathers worked on it, and had brothers, and nearly everybody in the parish has some member of the family that worked there.
Yeah.
And it was a great source of employment for a long number of years. But now the place has closed down, and nature has taken over, and
And there's a great walking area there now, isn't there?
we have a new walking area there. The great thing about it is we have the men's shed, history group, and Shulella all together under the one umbrella. So we make great use of that new labyrinth that's there, and it's a godsend because it's a very, very safe place to walk.
Absolutely.
You know.
We might make our way to do a program with the men's shed, maybe if you're available during the year.
You'll be very welcome,
Very
Eamon.
Eamon, yes. Very
Very
welcome.
We might get all the groups on.
Okay.
We get 'em all there,
we'll be
yeah.
ready for you, yeah.
Congratulations here today. Well done to you guys to get to this award system.
Thank you, Eamon, very much.
Thanks very much, Eamon.
Thank you.
Julie Kennedy Fogarty is with me. How are you doing, Julie?
I'm very good, Eamon. Nice to meet you.
Absolutely. Special book you have out.
I do. I have a couple of books out. Thanks very much. I've 4 that were out last year: Reuben's Hunt for a Home and The Coolest Pet, and I had a Christmas book, Reuben's Hunt for Christmas, and they are all written and printed here in County Tipperary.
Okay, so you're the main script writer.
I do. I write all the books. And I have an editor that I work with then to make sure that they're ready for the public, but I write all the books, yes.
Okay.
And so far I have been getting them printed in line to print inside in Cashel.
Okay. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been writing probably about 5 or 6 years, but last year I took the plunge to actually get the books illustrated and get them out to the public. So I have them in about 11 or 12 independent bookshops across the country. And they're like from Dublin to Limerick to Kilkenny to Tipperary, of course, like Bookerm and Thurles and Eason's and Thurles. And I also have them on my website, and they're available in Dunn's and Tesco nationwide as well.
Tell me about the children's books.
So they're all about they're different characters. The first book I wrote was Reuben's Hunt for at Home, and it's about this little character called Reuben, and basically he's living in a bog, his bog dries up, and he's looking to find a new home, and then he gathers 2 unlikely friends as he travels about trying to find a new place to live. So they're all about friendship and kind of empathy and kindness, and they're fun. They're all in rhyme, and they're ideal for like bedtime. I'm getting super feedback on them. So
Absolutely, really, what a special show, really, for the most part. Well done to it.
oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And you have all the books here printed, and people are here in droves waiting to talk to you.
Yes, yeah. Hopefully, we'll sell a few here now today. It's super to be able to go. I literally live out the road in my glass, so I could not but come in today. I felt it was important to come in, and it's super. I'm after picking up a few nice books myself. So
But the other side of it is that people will just browse around, but the next thing they'll make contact with you and say, "Listen, can you pass on whatever?"
yeah, exactly. And actually, the Horse Museum here in Feathered has been super supportive. The books are up there. So a couple of people have actually said to me that they've noticed the book up in the Horse Museum. So that's encouraging.
Any age group?
They're I would say 2 to kind of 7, 2 to 8, yeah, in age. They're picture books, but they're great for early readers as well, I think. And because they're in rhyme, there's great. The languages in some of them is a little bit different to what they might use every day. So they're educational. I've had a good few kind of educators and primary school teachers have been very complimentary of them.
Absolutely. Look at every success. We congratulate you on this and every success.
Thank you very much. Lovely to speak to you.
Pat Flynn, how are you doing, Pat?
I'm grand, Eamon, thanks very
All the
much.
way down from Thurles.
Down from Thurles.
Okay, and you regularly come here.
I do come here every year just for a day out and meeting people and having a chat and
you
buying a few books and selling a few books.
yeah,
And
you have a fantastic selection of books.
fine selection there now, loads of everything, anything from Irish history to the home of hurling GA. Sure, I'd have to be selling a lot of that,
You would, of course.
which I have a lot of stuff there now, a lot of GA stuff. Yearbooks, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of yearbooks there. People, I got rid of a good few there this morning. And all the famous John Dial, Jimmy Dial, Tommy Dial, all the Dials and all the good hurlers. Nicky English. So you could give the whole day mention them here, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, and you have the Kilkenny ones there as well. I see Henry Shefflin and a few.
Yeah, I look at. I'll take it on the chin. When they're good hurlers, you can't take that from them.
You cannot.
You cannot. There was some of the finest hurlers in this country, never won anything, and there's some lads there, they've 10 or 11 medals.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you love this, you're kind of a collector for the most part, aren't you?
I'm collecting GA stuff mostly for a long, long time. But I do collect a lot of Irish history as well. I love the bit of Irish history. So I didn't learn going to school. I was acting the fool in the class, and Paddy McSweeney be clipping the ear off here. But I'd be interested in history now, you know. I like that bit of history. I love it, actually.
Tell me, where is the next books fair now, if you're not here today? Where
I
would
don't
you
go to as many as I used to. I used to go to Cork and Limerick and Dublin. But sure, there's a sign, there's a wall there behind you. See that sign there?
Yeah.
There's a whole, in Limerick and Carlow, Kilkenny. There's book fairs going on all over the country now, very regular. But you couldn't be at them all, you know.
How do you keep all the books fresh, you know, keep them not getting damp and stuff?
You have to keep them in a fairly dry spot. Insulation, I put insulation around mine as well, you know, the airboard insulation, I'd have all that in around the boxes of books. That helps keep them fresh as well, you know what I mean? Yeah. But some of the old books are hard to mind. The old covers on them, they absorb the moisture, like the more modern books, you know? Yeah.
So that's the difficulty when they stick together then and all that.
If they stick together,
Forget it.
recycle them, that's into the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I suppose it does happen with a lot of books as well.
God it does. Oh, God it does, yeah. Damn, that's the styles books, sure.
So Pat, if people want to listen to you now, and where can you be contacted?
Sure, look, I'm in Thurles. I know, I told you before.
Have you a website?
I have, but loads of people, they want me, they know where I am. I told you that before.
Pat Flynn is
I don't want them banging on my door. They could be looking for you at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning looking for a book.
Pat Flynn, good luck. Thanks a lot, and it's a real pleasure once again. We're going to take another break. We're back with the final part of Down Your Way just after these. Indeed, you're very welcome back to the final part of Down Your Way. We're here in South of the County this week at the book fair. Michael Mallon, the man that you meet when you arrive through the door, always there with a greeting. Michael, it's a pleasure always to be here.
Thank you very much, Eamon. Now, Eamon, as you can see, there's a good gathering of literary fans from all around Ireland and locally. The air is filled with the aroma of pages and murmurs of expectant readers. It's a bustling exhibition showcasing a variety genre, tempting buyers with their colourful covers and interesting names. There is something for every reader's imagination, from classics to modern blockbusters, poetry.
What's your favourite, Michael?
Favourite book?
Yeah.
Maybe history.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's a good book here about Feathered.
I'm sure there is.
Yes. And anyway, just let me finish. The book lovers are entranced in a world of literary riches. It's a haven, a celebration of the written word, where tales are brought to life in innumerable pages. And the authors are participating in spirited dialogue, signing copies of their newest works.
Absolutely. And when I met you during the summer, you were singing a few songs for us.
I was, yeah, with the Something to Sing About choir in Clonmel, which is an excellent choir. Well,
and we were doing that in a car showroom.
That's right. Yes, it was quite a unique setup for a concert.
Yeah. And for Down Your Way as well.
Yes, for Down Your Way. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So you love being involved in this. You're here for the last 10, 15 years of this.
Well, I'm here in Feathered for 14 years. Maybe with the Feathered Historical Society for over 10, and the book fair. Terry Cunningham passed over the mantle to me for the moment as what would you call it, book fair coordinator.
So that's a job in itself.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. It's a very big day here. It takes 2 or 3 days to get ready for it, and a couple of days afterwards to clear it up.
Sure it does.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's all worthwhile.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great pleasure.
When you see people enjoying a book, when they sit down and pick up their book, and it's all about that, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. Yeah, it is, absolutely. And I mean, a book is a great escape from the trials and tribulations of modern day world wars, etc. Yeah.
Surely, Say hello to Sean Nugent. How are you doing, Sean?
I'm great, Eamon, great. Can't complain now. We're having a great crowd here today at the Feathered Book Fair. Great football here and great chats. One of the other things about it is great chats with people, with friends and people that you meet and come along to talk about books and talk about history maybe and that kind of thing. That's a big factor with it, I find anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you travel to other stalls?
Well, the only one that I go to is the one in the Dome, like, which is mostly GA related and that, and it's quite good in that. Like, with me, it's mostly about trying to get rid of some of the stuff that I have, like, really, like, because...
You're not out picking up more books around the place.
I'm definitely not. I was at one stage. I'm not doing it anymore now. Yeah. I'm trying to dispose of my assets and that in regard to books and that, because someone else will dispose of them for me later on at some stage, I'd say, if I don't do it myself.
Tell me, what's the best find that you have here?
The best...
Your best books and stuff.
Books. Yeah, well, sure, look, there are many and they're varied and that. Like, some are associated with the GA, some are kind of history books and that sort of thing. I had some very good ones there now today, and most of them, I suppose, are gone.
People come and just browse through them.
They do, yeah. They come and browse through them and that, and they might like some. It's surprising, really, what you can pick up now here. Yeah. You might be looking at my one there, and you might say not a huge lot in it, like, but someone will come and they'll find a book that they're looking for there.
Oh my dear.
As far as 5,000 and 1,500 and various things like that, like, I wouldn't like to be asking anyone for that kind of money.
You went an ambulance outside there.
I have a publication there. It was published by The Independent. It's over there in the corner. We might just have a little look at it afterwards. Now, I only bring it so that people can look at it and that. It was all the newspaper cuttings back the years of All-Ireland finals and that, and the match reports and that as well. Now, I asked one of those book people there, what was it worth, and he said, you'd be looking for €100. Okay. So a woman came along and she picked it up and she was looking at it. She said, how much is that? I said, I wouldn't like to tell you.
The last time we were talking about, of course, you're from Kilsheal and all the rest. You were developing a field down there. Did that ever take place?
It did indeed, yeah. It did indeed. A lot of work done. Probably a bit more to do in that. We'll be working on that this year and next year on that. But no, we're quite happy with what we've done. We have 2 sand-based pitches now and that, and I can tell you, during the weather was there before Christmas, they were very useful to the schools and to the clubs and the matches that were being played around in South Tipperary, because the field was playable all the time, and I was in it on Saturday now, and the drainage is top class there, and to sell as a rock, like, so
you must have got a professional company to do all that, did
we
you?
We did, yeah. We were lucky with the company we got. They were very good. They done a terrific drainage job, like, on the field. We're quite happy. We're lucky to get them. So, of course, it costs a lot of money, and we have to be thankful to some of our sponsors and that, like, who came up with the goods. We couldn't do it otherwise. Sports capital funding was huge as well. Like with all clubs now that are doing any major project, you need to get sports capital funding, and that's huge help. Again, you couldn't do those projects that cost, nearly. I suppose we probably have spent very close to probably $1 million, on our project. Because we were working out of an existing field, which is difficult, like, and we were trying to keep a presence in the field as well. So that made our project a little more difficult. But we managed it. It was cooperation from the contractor on that,
You're still involved in GA?
I'm still involved, sure. We'll always be involved, I suppose, like, that's the way it goes, like. It's very hard to kind of remove yourself from something that has been part of your life, or as far as you can remember.
I can remember the first time I met yourself and Billy Stokes down in Limerick at a match. I just can't remember what year it was, but my God.
Yeah. Billy isn't great for him now, yeah. He is. He's well up in the years now, and he's fairly fit and moving around and looking after his farm and looking after his cattle and all that sort of thing. Like, great man for the club as well. Like, he's always there to give a bit of machinery or any help that can be given, like, which is wonderful.
Sean Nugent, it's always a pleasure having you down your way.
Delighted, Liam.
I caught up with a good friend of ours at Tip FM, Micheál McCormick. How are you doing, Michal?
Doing well, good to be alive.
Absolutely. What a brilliant place here, Feathert, and you're from Feathert.
I'm living here in Feathert, yeah. It is a great facility here, and this book fair is great for, you'll pick up stuff and you'll meet people and like yourself and have the chat, and that's what life is about now when we're getting over 50,
Yeah, absolutely, and you're part to play, of course, in community life here for years.
Sure, you've done a little bit here and there, you have a bit with GA and athletics and everything else was going on, but I'm in nothing now, thank God.
Were you in the time of the yellow card and the red card?
I was, yeah.
You were always slow to give the cards anyway.
They often said I hadn't any cards. Tell you a great story. I was up in Kilnall on it, I think the Devons, they were playing. I know Johnny O'Connell was playing on it, and they were above some kind of a league game or some kind of a championship match. And I went out and I had no cards. And at half time, they knew I had no cards, so I went up to the car at half time and I couldn't get anything. So I found a red German beer mat. And I couldn't get anything yellow, so I got a duster.
Oh my God!
So anyway, the second half started. 2 minutes, duster came out, and all they said was, "He has cards, he has stuff." That was the end of it. No more trouble.
It's a real pleasure we said you on time. So that's our programme for this week. Thanks to all our guests on this week's programme. Don't forget, we're back with another edition of Down Your Way at the same time next week. From all of us on the programme, have a very good week. From here, from South to Prairie. Until next week. Bye bye.
Right.